students, we are going to discuss about the concept of derivatives, how the derivatives are used in finance. First, we are going to see the meaning of derivatives, followed by the how to calculate the pricing. In the first part, you are going to see the video about the derivatives, how it is working and the meaning of derivatives. The derivatives includes the forward contract, future contract and option. Let us see the meaning of derivatives in the video.
Derivatives are financial contract whose value is dependent on an underlying asset or group of assets. The commonly used assets are stocks, bonds, currencies, commodities, and market indices. The value of the underlying asset keeps changing according to market conditions. The basic principle behind entering into derivative contracts is to earn profits by speculating on the value of the underlying asset in future. Let us understand this with a better example. Let's say a farmer who produces wheat expects to sell 10 quintals of wheat after 4 months at Rs 2000 per quintal. But he is afraid of some damage due to untimely rain predictions. To avoid the risk, he approaches a commodities broker and enters into a contract to sell 10 quintal of wheat production after 4 months at 2000. Therefore, tomorrow, if the prices fall to Rs 1970 due to large supply in the market, the broker will be bound to pay Rs 2000 to the farmer. But after 4 months, if the market price of the wheat rises to Rs 2020, the farmer ends up losing Rs 20 per quintal as he is bound to sell at Rs 2000 to the broker. This transaction very simply explains how a derivative contract works. It is an example of a forward contract where the underlying asset is a commodity. Different types of derivative contracts. The 4 major types of derivative contracts are forwards, futures, options, and swaps. Let us take you through each of these types in detail. Forwards and futures. These financial contracts obligate the buyer to purchase an asset at a pre-agreed price on a specified future date. Both forward and futures are essentially the same in nature. The major difference is that futures are traded on exchanges, while forwards are customized contracts and they are not traded anywhere. Options. Options provide the buyer of the contracts the right but not the obligation to purchase or sell the underlying asset at a predetermined price. There are 2 kinds of options: call and put. In a call option, you have the right but not the obligation to buy a given quantity of underlying asset at a given price. In a put option, you have a right but not the obligation to sell a given quantity of the underlying commodity or asset at a given price. To buy any kind of options, you have to pay a premium. Swaps. Swaps are derivative contracts that allow the exchange of cash flows between 2 parties. The most popular types of swaps are interest rate swaps, commodity swaps, and currency swaps. There is a term which is vital here to be known, that is mark to market. Mark to market involves recording the price or value of a security to reflect the current market value rather than the book value. It is also known as M to M and is mostly done in future contracts. Now, what are the benefits of derivative trading? First of all, hedging risk exposure. Since the value of the derivatives is linked to the value of the underlying asset, the contracts are primarily used for hedging risk. Hedging risk means reducing risk in one's investment by making an other investment. The investor takes opposite position in two investments to offset the risk of any adverse price movement. Number 2. Underlying asset price determination. Spot derivatives are frequently used to determine the price of the underlying asset. For example, the spot prices of the futures can serve as an approximation of the commodity price. Number 3. Higher returns. Derivative trading gives you more possibilities of higher returns. But what are the risks that you should be aware of? Number 1. High volatility. High volatility of derivative exposes them to potentially huge losses. Number 2. Speculative features. Derivatives are widely regarded as a tool of speculation. Due to the extremely risky nature of derivatives and their unpredictable behavior, unreasonable speculation may lead to huge losses. To conclude, derivatives trading can be extremely beneficial, but we suggest that you enter only after you have had 5 to 6 years of experience in the stock markets. When done with enough experience and knowledge, derivatives trading can certainly reap great benefits. If you liked our
Yes, I hope you might have seen the video and know the meaning of the derivatives. Let us see what are all the concepts used in derivatives. First one is called the option pricing. The option price means the premium. As you seen in the video, the meaning of derivatives, it may be a future contract. So you can enter into a future contract from today to 3 months. In India, maximum 3 months are permitted. So, the premium refers to the what is the profit you are going to earn if you are entering into a future contract. That is called the premium. Simple example. Now you have purchased for 200 rupees. After 3 months, you are going to sell for 230 rupees. By the time the market price is 220, that means the premium is 10 rupees. However, the premium depends upon some of the factors. First factor is the security price. Security price means the current closing price of the security. We used to call it as the spot price. Spot price means the price of the security at present. Second one is called the strike price. Strike price means what is the price you are going to sell or buy after 1 month or 2 months, which equally depends upon the period of contract. That is the strike price. Then the time value. Time value means for 2 months or 3 months or even 1 month you are maintaining the security. After that either you can buy or sell. So in that period there's an interest involved because of the time value of money. So here the time refers to the time value of money. Then the volatility. Volatility refers to the standard deviation of the price. Then the rate of interest. That is risk-free rate of interest. If you are not using derivatives, if you are depositing in a bank, how much interest you will receive? By sleeping in home, you will receive minimum interest. That is the risk-free rate of return. These are all the things we will consider in the option pricing. As a summary, you must know the concept of spot price, strike price, volatility, risk-free rate, time to expiry, how many months or how many days. In some cases, if the dividends are paid during this period, we have to include the dividend also. That is called the dividend yield. Let us see the first one, which is called the Black-Scholes model. Under the Black-Scholes model, we will calculate the price. It may be a call option or put option. You can see in case of Black-Scholes model, what are all the things we will include? The stock price, that is the present price. Then the strike price after 1 year or 2 years. Then time to maturity. Time to maturity means 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. 1 month means 1 divided by 12. 2 months means 2 divided by 12. 3 months means 3 divided by 12. 4 months means 4 divided by 12. Then the annual risk-free rate. Annual risk-free rate refers to the minimum rate of return in case of the banks. Without any risk, you will get the minimum interest. That is called the annual risk-free rate. Then the volatility, what we discussed, the standard deviation of the share price. These are all things we will calculate for the purpose of option pricing using the Black-Scholes model. This is an example of the call option. Same thing in case of put option. We will use all these things for the purpose of calculating the option price. Another model is called the binomial model. Under the binomial pricing model, it is very simple than the Black-Scholes model. However, we will use the concept called node. Node means how many times the price will increase or decrease. That is the important thing in case of binomial model. Binomial model assumes that the price may increase or decrease how many times during the period of option or derivatives. That is the node. Remaining things are same. Up rate means increasing. If the rates are increasing, that is the up rate. Down rate means decreasing. The probability. What is the probability of increase or decrease? These are all the points you will consider in case of the binomial model. As you said, you can see the example of the binomial model. Number of nodes, which refers to the how many times the price will increase or decrease. That is the concept beyond the binomial model. The top yellow line mentioned that if the prices are increasing, what will happen? Dark green color reference to the if the prices are decreasing, what will happen? So two effects. The prices are depending upon how many nodes. If the prices are increasing, what will be the effect? If the prices are decreasing, what will be the effect? These are all the concepts included in the binomial model. The next model is the Monte Carlo model, which we will use purely the probability model. We have to find out the probability of the price, whether it will increase or decrease. If it will increase, what will be the future price? Based upon that, the Monte Carlo simulation will work. It will generate the random price and work out. So the answer will be different for each and every person in case of Monte Carlo method. So these are all the few methods in which the option pricing will be identified. Let us go to the basics of option. Because we have seen something called call option, put option, we will see the meaning of all those things. First thing, the call option. Call option gives the buyer the right to buy. That is, call option means in future if you want to buy the particular security. That is the call option. When you can exercise your right to buy the shares. That is called the call option. Put option in the other words, it will give the buyer right to sell. After 1 month, what will be the price you want to sell? That is the concept. You have purchased now. In future, you are going to sell. So in such case, we will use the put option. So there are two options. One is the call option and the put option. Call option, the rights to buy. Usually if the price are coming down, you will buy. If the price are increasing, you will fix the put option price. That is the right to sell. So you have to understand the meaning of this thing, the put option and the call option. So call option will generate money if the prices are in upward direction. That is when the prices are increasing. At the same time, put option will be best one. That is, you want to sell if the prices are coming down. These are all the simple strategy we will use here. Same thing, in case of call option, the underlying price is the strike price of the call. Same thing in put option also, out of the money is the underlying price. We'll see the meaning of out of the money also. Another type of option is called the American option. This is the another classification, American and European option. American option means if we enter into a future contract, the option can be exercised, that is either call or put, even before the expiry date. Let us assume the May 30th, you enter into a contract. You can exercise your option before May 30th. That is the American option. But in case of European option, it is not like that. European option means only at the time of maturity you can use the European option. Before that you can't utilize. That is the difference between American and European option. American option, anytime you can utilize before the expiry of the security, that is the future contract. Whereas European option, once the future contract comes to an end, on that date only you can utilize the option. That is called European option. Another thing you must understand the call and put. We already discussed the meaning of call and put, but when there is a bullish trend, what will happen? When there is a bearish trend, what will happen? Bullish trend when the prices are increasing. Bearish trend means the prices are decreasing. There is one call called long call. Long call means the option contract gives the right to purchase the stock at the strike price. That is the long call. Short call means it gives the rights to sell the stock to the buyer if the strike price are excess. That is the short call. And you will see the example when you are doing the practical thing. Same thing, it is reverse to the put option. If there is a bearish trend, the option contract gives the holder right to sell at the strike price. That is the put option. That is the when the bearish trend, the prices are falling. At the same time, when the bullish option is having, in case of put option, the seller is having the right to purchase a stock from the buyer at the strike price itself. That is called the short put option. So these are all the technical terms we are using in the derivatives. Same thing, the call and put, we used to call it as long call, long put, short call and short put. Long call is used for the bullish trend. Long put is used for the bearish trend. Likewise in reverse, short call is used for the bearish trend, whereas short put is used at the time of bullish trend. So these are all the common terminology we will use there. Then the contract value. When we are fixing the exercise price, there are some terminology we are using. One is called in the money. It is called ITM. ITM means exact price of the contract. In other ways, it is called as the intrinsic value, the original price without including the time value or without including the risk-free rate at the money, which means that the option strike price is same as the stock price. That is, if you want to exercise that one, you might have purchased in the same price. That is the at the money. Both prices will be same. Out of the money. Out of the money, in such case, this option contract does not have an original value. Usually the strike price is more than the spot price of the asset. That is, we will get very good profit in OTM. It depends upon call or put option. So in OTM only, the original price of the shares or securities will be higher than the spot price. You have to understand the meaning of ITM, ATM and OTM. ITM, simple thing. This is the original price. ATM, if the price of the strike is equivalent to the stock price. OTM, the strike price is the more than the spot price. That is called OTM. Next one is called the option Greeks. Option Greeks includes some of the Greek terms. First is the delta value. Delta represents the rate of change. That is the speed. Simply, the delta ranges from 0 and 1. That means speed of the share price movements. Usually, a call option with delta of 0.5 is the at the money. That is the intrinsic value. Whereas for the put option, the delta ranges between -1 to 0. You have to understand the meaning of delta during call option and put option. Delta refers to the speed. If it is 0.50, it is good for the call option. For the put option, it may be between -1 and 0. In case of put option, the -0.50 is the at the money. We have discussed the meaning of at the money, that is ATM. Next one is called the theta. Theta represents the change between the option price as well as the time. Here we will consider the time value of the money. Usually the sellers benefit from the theta because they gain profit from time. Buyers, on the other hand, if the price are increasing, they will get the more profit, which will be represented by the theta. So theta includes the time value also. In other words, the time sensitivity will be measured by the theta. Then the gamma. The gamma refers to the how much the speed of the delta. Whether the speed is high or low, it will be decided by the gamma. So it is called as the second order of risk factor. Otherwise, it is also called as delta of delta because it provides the speed. In other words, it provides the trader with the understanding of how an option delta will change over the time. If the speed is very high, it means it will quickly change. If the speed is less, then it takes some more time to change. Same thing, when you are going in two-wheeler, the speed refers to the 45 kilometers or not. That is the delta. Suddenly you may increase the accelerator to 60. That is delta of delta. How many times you are increasing the speed? That is the gamma. That is called delta of delta. Why we are using the gamma? Because if you are going for 1 month contract, if the speed is very fast, you can go for 1 month and gain the profit. If the speed is less, you can go for 2 months or 3 months contract and gain the profit. That is why we are using the gamma. Then the vega. It measures the volatility also. Volatility of the price. How far the price is fluctuating. So it is very, very sensitive to volatility. The price upward trend and downward trend is measured by the vega. Then this is called rho. It will represent the change between the option value with regarding to the risk-free return. That is usually cost of capital. Rho refers to the risk-free return, how it will affect your derivatives. How the risk-free return will influence the option pricing. If the risk-free rate is less, you will get very good. Of course, whatever we are gaining from the derivatives, it should be greater than the risk-free return. That is what we are expecting. So, this rho represents the rate of change compared with the risk-free rate. Let us see the example, how the option Greeks is worked. Here is the underlying price, 80 rupees. Then the exercise price, 55. Here the date is mentioned 2020 and the expiry rate, volatility, risk-free rate, dividend yield. We can consider that one. Dividend yield. DT means day to expiry. The calculation shows the value of call and put option. Theoretical price means the original option price. Then they are given the delta. So what is the addition we can take from delta here? The delta price shows 0.99, which means that if the market price increase by rupee 1, then the call option price will increase by 0.99, somewhat slower. But in case of put option, if the market price increase by 1, the price will decrease by 0.0. That means no change. You can see the put option is the reverse one. So that is the decision based upon the delta. Theta, you can see the call option is minus 0.05 and put option is minus 0.002. That means the call option price will decrease by around 0.75% within 6 months of time. Whereas put option price will decrease by 0.2 within 6 months of time. So we have to see it should not decrease. Gamma. Gamma is 0.0006 in both call option and put option because it is the delta of delta. If the option price increase by rupee 1, then the delta will increase by 0.006. That is 0.06%. That is the decision based upon the gamma. Vega, if the price increase by 1, the option value will also increase by 0.37%. Rho, it depends upon the risk-free rate. So if the risk-free rate increase by 1%, the option value will increase by 26%. That is how we are taking the decision based upon the option Greeks. Let us see the example of the ONGC, how the ONGC price are there. For that we will calculate everything, that is types of option. We can use both call and put option. The stock price on 1st January 2024. Then we are going to fix the strike price 250, that is after 3 months. At present the risk-free rate is 5%, the volatility is 87%. That means standard deviation divided by average multiplied by 100. Let us assume the ONGC is giving the dividend of 14%. You can see the results, the theoretical price, delta, gamma, theta and vega. You have to see the price of that one, how it is going on. Okay. So these are all things we are going to work out in the practical. So based upon the derivatives, you must understand what is the meaning of derivatives, what is the meaning of option pricing, what are all the different methods of calculating the option pricing. In practical, we are going to calculate 3 things in option pricing, that is Black-Scholes model, binomial model, then Monte Carlo simulation. Then the option Greeks. Once we completed, we are going to study about how the option is working. That is, we will prepare an option worksheet to determine the prices. Okay, thank you.